our national anthem.
Hey, what's happening, film dorks? J.K. Weisman here, broadcasting from the epicenter of independent cinema. Still rolling high off of last night's show. I'm learning some things as we do these film stuffs. They're like, if you don't watch, they are little short film festivals that we do once every other month to kind of recap the work of our guests. And I'm learning that just because our guests have rights cleared to certain songs doesn't mean that I have rights cleared to certain songs. So you're going to want to watch that stuff live, because I think as it goes onto YouTube and it goes onto Facebook, it's going to get muted. And YouTube, it doesn't matter as long as you can watch it. I don't get monetized, but I also don't care about that because it's not my work to get monetized off of. So that's less important. That being said, find those shorts in their highest resolution at the websites that we talk about. Give your support to our filmmaker guests, and watch our shit live, because it's live. That's the best time to watch it. So that's my name. This is the date. If you want to be very kind, follow Jelly Roll Chicago wherever you find the Jelly Roll. Like us, subscribe, share. If you're interested in the stuff that we're talking about, talk to us, email us, jellyrollchicago@gmail.com. It's not that big of a deal. Just trying to get a bigger audience. This is the stuff that I care about talking. And as theaters are reopening and it feels like the industry is kind of sounds like an old jalopy where we're cranking it up again, and then it'll get going once Marvel decides to, Black Widow's going to drop and it'll be a different game. Did just find out that worldwide and domestically together, I think A Quiet Place made like $120 million, which is great. It's fabulous, and I'm very happy for them. So they know, they know where the money is, and they are, they're here. You should join us this coming Thursday. We're gonna have writer-director Chris Ray. She made a movie called We Used to Go Here, and she is a very big name, and I have to do my research. I'm nervous about this one, folks. I'll talk about it on this show. I have no problem saying that I'm a little nervous about that one. So I hope she's absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait to talk to her. I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about today. We'll go through the box office Reddit. Oh my God, you guys, I didn't even pick a movie. I'm a mess, so I'll have to find a movie because that's just embarrassing. I'm not prepared. The show is late, so this is kind of the shortest turnaround time between the Thursday night show and the Friday morning show, and this is the first Friday morning show I've ever done. So We're going to do this together. Thank you so much for joining us. Find me everywhere you can find me and follow, and we'll see what we can do with this community. So without a further ado, let's pull up the box office subreddit for the day and see what we got. Obviously, usually what rises to the top is the movie like casting news usually, and kind of the big neat news that people like to read. So Donnie Yen is going to join John Wick 4, and that'll be baller, right? This is interesting. Maybe we'll read about this. Mission Impossible 7 shuts down after a positive test. We're getting vaccinated and things are getting back to normal. That being said, there's still stuff to deal with. John Boyega exits Netflix movie Rebel Ridge mid-shoot. We might read that just because I'm interested. It says family reasons cited, which is all. That's totally legit. Mid-shoot, though, that must be hard. That must be hard for the producers, and I wonder how they're going to replace them. I don't think they're. I doubt they're shooting this thing like Zack Snyder shot Army of the Dead, and they can just kind of replace them, especially if it's John Boyega. He probably has a very, very large role. In the Heights has officially become certified fresh, so that'll be a good movie theater movie, I guess. They're making a new Wedding Crashers, guys. What's up with that? Explain that to me. Do you think that'll be as good? What could that story possibly be? They're all going to be in it. And, it is our favorite. It seems to be our favorite version of all these characters. Honestly, can I be honest with you guys? I really like Rachel McAdams. Hot take, guys. Really like her work. Quiet Place 2, killing it. Casting, Josh Brolin, Glenn Close. That'll be a fine comedy. I don't care about that. They dropped the Shazam. Okay, this is Wall Street Journal. Meme stocks are on a wild ride led by AMC. So, I think that is very, very, very much what we need to be reading about. I don't understand it. I'm so lost on it. I'm not very smart. I'll be honest. My buddy Luke is texting me right now as though he doesn't know I am live on YouTube right now and roasting your ass. So maybe he'll stop bothering me. I don't understand the deal with the meme stocks. And it seems like since we started talking about it a couple days ago, the story has just gone all over the fucking place. So I think I'll read that. That's okay, especially since it's Wall Street Journal. It's a curious thing, and maybe it'll elucidate for us. But I'm kind of dumb when it comes to that shit, and it just seems like we read about how the CEO of AMC just got a big bonus. So like, it sounds like he's just stirring the pot. Am I crazy? Is he just like stirring the chowder a bit and seeing what happens? Because it just seems so stupid. But I'm sure he's thrilled because everything's opening up, right? Thrilled. Quiet Place 2. Cruella DeVille. Cruella is fine. We're seeing this in Japanese. I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong, but I would like to. Excuse me, I must have a hole in my lip. Okay. So they're dropping The Conjuring 3 in over 3,000 locations. And there's something short of 4,000, I think. I think it's like, I want to say it's like somewhere between 35 and 38 hundred, theaters in the nation, and several IMAX venues right there. So there's a couple things fighting against this. In my experience at the movie theater, number 3 doesn't often do well, unless it's Marvel. But there's kind of a distinction on all that. That being said, people are really excited. It's a beloved franchise. I think people are under the impression that James Wan is directing this, and he's not. But it is the original. You know, they keep bringing in Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson to do their bits as the Warrens, the Warrens. They've become really interesting characters that people really find beloved. So Warner Brothers is hoping for a killing with that. And Quiet Place 2, people is showing that people like horror movies in the theater. That's maybe one of the communal experiences that we want to have again. That being said, lots of screams, lots of popcorn and germs. So let's see how The Devil Made Me Do It does, because I think in real life it wouldn't have done very well, but now that we're rebooting, it'll probably do all right. It'll probably do all right. I don't know why. I'll probably do it. Yeah, I agree. Especially stuff like that, especially horror films. They're ready. Horror people are ready, and kids too. You know, that's part of horror films. Always attract kids, and they'll always want to go out and see movies at the theater because it's something to do. So I don't know about America the Motion Picture. I don't care. I'll watch it some other time. Predicting the number 1 movie. This is stupid. This is so stupid. This is what you do if you work at a movie theater. Like, it only makes sense if you work at a movie theater. This is like dumb to do here. It's another good day atop the mountain. Like, people just can't. People are so romantic for the movie theater that any good news of a movie doing halfway decent is considered a big old win for them. Sorry about that. Insiders wary of the Bezos Bond alliance as Amazon steps up pursuit of prime Hollywood properties. That's interesting. We've been talking about that. We're tracking that one in real time because that's not even like confirmed yet. It's pretty much all but done. But see, look, here's more frantic trading in AMC. Yeah, dude. See, these guys are saying that Devil Made Me Do It'll be fine. Hopefully people will be on their best behavior, to be fair. I've had to deal. I worked at the cheapest movie theater in Chicago, so I had my share. No one got stabbed, thank God, but I got stories. So hopefully people will be on best behavior now that the theaters are open. Otherwise, all the more reason to not go back to the theater. I've had to stop more than one fist fight. Yeah, I imagine. Dude, I see the news from England, and they're like, they've been trying to open the fucking pubs the entire time. Like, they've just been trying to get this going. Yeah, I've been following like the YouTube crap with all the boxing, which is very weak. That's all very weak. Very weak sauce, if you ask me. Yeah. Well, and it's also a big spreader. So I understand that, but it's also like, okay. I think should just kind of, all right. All right, film dorks. Let's move on to this article. Oh, I can't read it. Oh no, I can read it. Okay. One moment. All right. Oops. I'm not sold I'm going to be able to read this. Like just generally, I might not be smart enough. So, let's see what we can get through here. AMC leads meme stocks on a wild ride. S&P 500, meanwhile, hovers as investors parse signals about inflation and the labor market. By Karen Langley, June 4th, 2021, this morning. Meme stocks are on the move again while the broader market is running in place. Before I get started, do you think after a year and a bit of a little production that we'll see a massive rise in quality films in the next few years? It depends on what everybody's been focusing on, because movie theaters could have been spending this time focusing on, you're talking about production, but it'll all play together. Movie theaters could have been spending this entire time thinking about ways to like fix the industry and fix the problems with what's going on, and instead they just have been forcing their ways through, and they won't stop, and it's just like money never sleeps, and we got to keep going, and there's no stopping and planning. I think that there are going to be some artists out there who have had the opportunity to stop. Like, I don't know what Christopher Nolan has been writing this entire time. I'm sure it's fine. He's a bad example because Tenet was really contentious. That's true, except that they're either going to be owned by a streaming platform, so it doesn't matter anymore, or they're going to have a deal with a streaming platform and it's not going to matter anymore. And the only people who are going to be in trouble are the movie theaters. Production studios, I think, will be fine, especially now. Like, they're going to be under the impression that movie theaters are totally viable with Quiet Place and stuff. So I think that they're scared of change, which is a natural thing. We always are. But pretty soon, all this aggregation is happening. That's happening. So, like I keep saying in these episodes, like Apple is going to buy, Apple will buy Paramount and will buy NBC, or I guess Paramount is CBS, maybe, and it'll be a package kind of a thing. That works on a few different levels for sure. So that's my prediction. I don't think it's going to, I don't know who's working on what. I think some people have had the opportunity to stop and plan and think and produce some stuff, and are going to, it'll be interesting, once the gun finally, and people can really start going. Like, once, like we said, Mission Impossible just got shut down from COVID. So it's still in the back of everyone's heads. It's not fully open. Once everything is fully open, they fucked the writer's strike up, though. Like, that whole thing was a mess, and I don't know if they got what they needed to get from the writer's strike, and I don't know if the increase in quality had anything to do with that whatsoever, because everyone's just trying to get paid and everyone's just trying to get their next job going. As far as I can tell, when it comes to writers, like professional writers, they're just trying to get their next job. They're just trying to get paid, and not get screwed. If they can make some really nice art at the same time, like that would be really great. Maybe that's glib, maybe that's a diminutive, and I don't mean to put down what people do. I love writers, and I hope, I can't say it enough that it's the movie industry, so the industry comes first. The art is a byproduct of the industry. Like, it would be nice if there's an increase in quality, but the fact is that people just, like, people want to make their loot. All right. Let's see. Meme stocks are on the move again while the broader market is running in place. Live theater. That's a good, we'll have to see. We'll have to see, because I know that people will want to be like doing stuff again, but also it's going to take me a long time to want to be able to, like, we talk about bowling and how kind of gross the act of bowling is. So hopefully, I guess, like, comedy shows are kicking off again. And some musical acts that I really enjoy are kicking off again. So I'm not willing to make any predictions because I don't know how people are going to act. And it'll be cool. It'll be cool if live theater comes back in a big way. I just don't know. Shares of AMC Entertainment Holdings, GameStop Corp, and other stocks popular with individual investors swung wildly again on Friday. They have surged over the past 2 weeks, a frenetic rally reminiscent of the Reddit field craze of late January. That's fine. AMC became the latest darling of investors who have banded together on social media in a bid to propel the shares higher. The stock dropped 4.2% Friday morning after surging 97% this week through Thursday. That has extended its gains for the year to 2,200%. Its daily average trading volume this week has nearly quadrupled in the 2021 range. Meanwhile, the S&P 500, has waffled in a narrow range as investors parse signals about inflation in the labor market that could feed into the Federal Reserve's next moves. The benchmark rose 0.6% Friday morning after the monthly jobs report showed employers added over 500,000 jobs in May, fewer than economists had projected. A snippet of evidence could weigh against the Fed. I thought this... Where is it? The momentum in meme stocks, meanwhile, doesn't yet match the fury of January. More than 606 million shares of AMC changed hands on Wednesday alone, the stock's second busiest day on record, according to DJMD. That pales in comparison with the peak, but it easily tops a daily. AMC is the third most actively traded stock in the U.S., trailing a cannabis company, an apparel maker. Why is this? It's so popular. I guess it's really cheap and it's about to kick off, so people are doing that. See, yeah, the article did what I thought it would do, which is it's telling me what happened, but not like why. So rock and roll. That's kind of the story right now. It's fine. There's no other news happening right now. I don't really care about anything else that's going on. I'm not willing to go back to the movie theaters, but I will tell you the second I am. Do you want to see if there's anything we missed from this week now that the week is kind of wrapping up? just do a once over and see if we missed anything that's interesting. This is all I do. I scour the news, and this is pretty good news usually. See, if you're an individual investor, you'll get some sort of a reward. Nothing compared to the bonus that the CEO got, but Quiet Place, Avatar, Wrapped, which is nice. Seth Rogen we talked about. Donnie Yen we talked about. This is a meme. The GameStop and AMC stuff started because some YouTube investors thought they were undervalued in relation to COVID, and then it went mental on rent. They lucked into that one, eh? As far as AMC is concerned, they just lucked into that. I don't think they did. Maybe, again, I might just be diminutive. Yeah, all this stuff we've talked about. Spider-Man, Korean cinemas, gonna give discounts, and we're talking about continuing Creed. It's all fine. It's all fine. I don't know if there's anything here that strikes anybody's eye. There's nothing all too serious going on. So Marvel stuff. I wonder, though, do you want to check out the movie theater subreddit? Let's see what we can get. Nah. Nope, I haven't heard anything. I don't know exactly what Ridley is working on, but no. I've not one thing have I read. I will keep you posted on that. I don't know. Oh, this is not right. The movie theater. I'm sorry, guys. I'm curious to see where that story continues, but can I be honest with you? That dude made one good movie, and I'm sure the others come from like a good place, but like I have such a hard time with Chappie, and I had such a hard time with other movies. I'm like waiting for another one. I heard he was working on another District 9 movie though, and that would be cool because I really enjoy that, and I think he's a talented dude. But oh boy. So I'll show you what I'm looking at here. I haven't gone on here in a long time. I used to go here a lot, but this is the movie theater employee subreddit, and there's just, since the industry has been dead, there's nothing on here. It's scarce, but let's see. 18 days ago, local theater. That's nice. Lovely. That's a beautiful theater. $1929. The theater I worked at was built in 1912. It wasn't this big though. That's a beautiful. These are the theaters that are going to survive. That's lovely. Must be held a walk. What you gonna say? Yeah, totally. Doing something interesting. All right, what else? Oh yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times where someone's like, "Are you the manager?" Yeah. Well, you were wonderful and your employees are so well behaved and you guys handled today so well. I'd say, man, that is the nicest reason for anyone to ask for a manager because it almost never happened. But when it did, it was very, very cool. See, this is the shit that I do miss about working at a movie theater. Fellow movie theater employees of subreddit, what has been the biggest slap in the face from a customer? For me, it was probably when a customer requested that we make her some unsalted popcorn. We make a batch of unsalted and give it to her. She goes to the condiments stand and puts popcorn salt on her popcorn. She then looks at us and says, I like putting the salt on there myself. I would have been furious. That's so funny. That's so funny. I haven't watched that. Oh, this person's excited to go back. Oh, another slap in the face. Today sucks. So here, this is from 8 days ago. So here going, I have worked in my local movie theater for over 20 years. When I started there, I was 16, worked my way up to change movie posters, put up standees, and training new employees. Then the virus happened. My company closed, told everyone that they will rehire when the state said we can reopen now 1 year and 5 months. And I get a call from home office saying, sorry, they're not going to reopen your theater, but here's some money and a letter saying thanks for working for us. I feel sick to my stomach. And this person saying, you know, it's good. That's really rough. That's really, really rough stuff. See, like, this is the stuff that I care about. You know, there's some fun stuff on here, but these are the people that I care about thinking of quitting. I've been working at the movie theater since December 2019. And although I had lots of fun at the beginning, I do not enjoy it anymore. My mental health is deteriorating every day I stay. The paychecks are not worth it anymore. And with movies like Black Widow and Quiet Place 2 coming out soon, I know it'll be very exhausting. I miss the good times I had there, but in the end, I have to look out for my own health. I'll update you all when I put in my 2 weeks. My boss is a bit scary, and I just want to get the hell out of there and on to the next stage of my life. That was 27 days ago from Green Jose. And I wonder if they quit. Okay. Oh dear. It says, yo, is Regal always this terrible? Let me hold on and let me pull this up real quick. This is good stuff. Come on now. I'm still learning how to do this. This is from the subreddit Recruiting Hell. It says, I just personally want to say fuck Regal Cinema. Throwaway account, and it's a rant. Throwaway account, but I just want to get this off my chest. No doxing, personal location in my rant. This is literally the worst retail experience I've ever been in. They want to pay federal minimum wage, understaff the place, and then expect you to give 150%. I am tired of getting workplace bullied for my young looks, getting screamed at for not following orders to the letter, and have to stand 8 hours on my feet without sitting down once. The people who go there are the biggest dicks, and with some guy watching a movie purposefully spilling multiple large drinks to the ground and expecting me to clean it up, with the other guy shitting on the walls of the men's stall, and the older staff expecting me to clean it up. What's worse is that my hiring manager expects me to work until 3 a.m., go home and sleep, and return the the following noon, all for $7.25. My family has been telling me to drop this job. My friends have been telling me to drop this job. 2 random people that I have had the privilege to talk to my job have said it's shit. I'm 2 weeks into it and I want out. It costs me more money to work there than what I'm getting out of it. All because a closer job, which pays $15 an hour, refused to hire me because I have no prior experience. I don't want to give out any personal details or anything, but heed my warning and stay the fuck away from Regal Cinemas. I honestly tried to work here for the experience, but I am leaving this out of my resume. Can I be honest with you guys? That's just working at a movie theater. Sorry. Working at a movie theater is standing on your fucking feet for 8 hours and cleaning shit off the walls. Like, that's not the theater's fault. I'm sorry that you had a bad time. And part of the bad times that I had, I tried to turn into making them good times. You know, like just try and turn a situation. There's so many great things to be done, and great experiences to be had. But I mean, yeah, you get bullied. You have to sit there and police people. Of course, the older staff isn't going to want to pick up shit. You know why? Because they've been working there longer than you. And they earned it because, you know, when they started, they had to clean the shit off the walls. So I'm sorry. The hiring manager can go fuck themselves. That's true. We never had to stay until 3 a.m. I don't know what that's all about. As far as scheduling is concerned, this person's getting taken advantage of. And as far as no prior experience, if you can stay at a movie theater for a year, that's a great experience for other stuff because it's such a shitty job. It's a shitty job. Like, what do you, I mean, I don't know from understaffing and I don't understand, you know, getting screamed at for not following orders to the letter could mean anything. I have had an experience where like kids under a certain age don't know what clean means. And it's not like, sorry, I got like a stray piece of hair here. It might be just my eyebrow. You know, like I sent a 16-year-old kid to clean a theater when I went in there, like it wasn't clean because their version of clean is a little different. So, I don't know this person. I don't know how old this person is. But if you thought that working at a movie theater was going to be any different than this, that's on you, pal. And now you know. So, I'm sorry you had such a shitty experience and you don't like, I thought this would be better. I thought it would be better, guys. It's not terrible, even though I got some comments here. Mostly good customers, few bad apples, only one banned customer. That's incredible. I had to ban a bunch of customers. Regal is known for being literal scum. I don't know how a movie theater can be literal scum. I know it can have literal scum. Not an employee of Regal, but as a former customer and fellow theater employee elsewhere, I can tell everyone at Regal hated their jobs. It was evident from the top to bottom of the experience. I only go to AMC anymore. See, we actually kind of enjoyed our jobs when we did it at the independent theater. So it depended on the day. So there are some people who came in just with shitty attitudes and like, what are you going to do? As a new hire has been, this is from 3 days ago. As a new hire has been working for a couple of weeks now, I'll give my experience too. Sorry. I'll give my experience too. My situation isn't as much as a hellhole as that person's, but the environment pretty spot on. I am the only one still there after the other 3 hires quit after 1 day. Well, what I mean, like, I mean, you're paying minimum wage to people and expecting 100% quality and enough product. I'm like pretty sure one of my coworkers doesn't even clean during their entire usher shifts. So when we close, it's much extra work. Quite understaffed too. Like the other day, the manager was saying, "Oh my God, thank God you showed up. So many people called out. Just don't show up." And only 2 of us closed the entire theater. When I clean, I get really in and clean, but I've been told to try less of being a detailed cleaning since time is so limited. I had higher expectations, not going to lie, but I'm going to stick around here for a while. I think this is all because, I mean, it's a shitty job and they fired us all. It's a shitty job and they fired all of us. They didn't have any intention of keeping any of us that were working there because we're so disposable. We're so disposable as employees to people who own movie theaters. I got a big chip on my shoulder and I'm salty as fuck about it, because we do great work and we worked so hard and then they fucked us all over and now they just want to reopen and it's a bunch of kids that they hired 4 people and 3 of them left after their first day because why? They don't want to clean shit off the walls. And you have to clean shit off the walls. I had a dude piss in the middle of my theater. I have so many stories. I worked there for 6 years. I got a million stories, not to mention personal things that happened to my person, you know, like I had to work every Marvel movie. Oh, thank God. You know, Luke, you're just joining us. I'm on the movie theater subreddit and people are having a hard time with the job. People are having a hard time with the job. Like they don't like cleaning and they don't like being bullied and they don't like getting paid poorly. And it's like, yeah, no shit. So, oh, here we go. Here's another one. Let's read this one. I just quit Regal Cinemas. This is the 3rd Regal sub Reddit that I've just, the 3rd one. I just quit Regal Cinemas and I have questions about my ex-employer. I was literally my first job and they treated me like total ass. I can't even put this place on my resume because of how badly I was treated. I had to leave after 2 weeks. From looking online, this is the normal case for Regal and I'm looking to find a job that pays more than what I spent on gas getting there. Not worth it for $7.50. I don't know what the $7.50 shit is. We got paid way more than that. So I don't know from that. Question 1. My first day behind concessions, I was giving 5 minutes to memorize everything in concessions. Then I was forced to be the only register while a swarm of people came in. What? Is this normal? Are they seriously that understaffed that they just made the recent hire with no experience do this during rush hour? I mean, the woman who told me everything just disappeared and didn't show up unless I radioed her for a question, i.e., where are the hot dogs? How do I cook them? Even then, she would be like, figure it out yourself. I wonder how, like, oh man. I mean, I'm sorry you had this experience, but your boss was having it too. Question 2. While behind concessions, I drop shit, empty cups, bag of popcorn, or because I was so rushed, I mess up someone's drink and throw it into the trash. My team leader literally started screaming at me in front of the customers for doing that. And I'm dead confused on why I was getting screamed at for throwing away stuff. Apparently, I'm not supposed to leave my register and put all that stuff in the back for a box titled "Not for Human Consumption." Why is this the case? Especially, why is this the case when I was the only person on register? We didn't do that bullshit. That's interesting. Is that a way for them to keep track of inventory? I suspect it's an inventory thing. But that when you're in the middle of a whole rush, you throw it away. You just throw it away. Wash your hands. Question 3, why was I not allowed to sit down at all while on duty or even rest? I understand that I have a 30-minute break, but these people wanted me to run around and stand at attention for 8 hours of the day. I tried to sneak in a sit while waiting for a movie to end as an usher so I can clean it and was heavily reprimanded for doing it, with my colleague saying he will tell my manager to write me up if I do it again. And I'm not in the goddamn Marines. I was making $7.50 an hour. Why am I not allowed to rest during downtime? That's a good question. I mean, we'd give people plenty of breaks. You have to stand. You can't be like sitting behind the counter. But like, there's time to sit. There is time to sit. I completely agree. If you go back and read I would love, I wish you were here for the first one that I read, because it was somebody complaining about Regal. It was the first complaint about Regal. And I was like, sorry, that's the job. Like, sorry, you had a bad experience, but that's genuinely what this job is. I don't know what I mean, Luke, this guy that I'm talking to right here, this Lucas guy, I worked with and hired people. So, I know, right? Um, so this guy, we hired people, and people would stay for a day and then leave because they don't. It's a janitor job. A lot of it is a janitor job, and serving popcorn. Like, what do you think this is? You're going to sit around watching movies all day? You're crazy. That's why it ends up being a clubhouse. You come on your off day to go see a movie. People would always just be like, "Oh, you don't watch the movie?" I'm like, "Do you go to your job on your day off?" No. And they go, "Oh, good point. Good point." Question 4. Why was I expected to stay until 3 a.m., drive an hour back to my home, find enough time to sleep, and then drive an hour back? Why are you driving an hour to a movie theater for a job that's $7.50? That's on you. Why do you live in the sticks where there's like nothing? Is there just nothing for you? That was the case with somebody else where like I couldn't get a job near my house because I didn't have enough experience. So I got a job at the Regal, and it's an hour away. And I don't know where you all, of course it's not worth that. We would tell people would take hour and a half, 2 hour long trains to come to interview for the job. And it's like, I'm sorry, but you're going to be late and it's not worth anyone's time. You're not going to make the money. And I knew somebody who Ubered back and forth every shift. He had a lot of money and he was stealing a lot of money. So what can I say? But, there you go. So I guess the theater was paying for his Uber trips. Let me start over. Question 4. Why was I expected to stay until 3 a.m., drive an hour back to my home, find enough time to sleep, and then drive an hour back to reopen at 11:30 a.m.? Maybe if my pay rate was $22 an hour, I wouldn't complain as much. But they wanted a brand new guy who's being paid the bare minimum with 8-hour shifts to do it. Whoever's scheduling these, they're doing a dog shit job. Question 5. Why did my fellow colleagues both not do any work and treat me like a total ass for me looking young? Is this the same person? Is this the same person? It sounds exactly the same as the other person, just more eloquent. For looking young, I had to run and clean theaters by myself in a tight schedule while my coworkers just disappear or take their breaks when stuff got rough. I also got reprimanded for not cleaning thorough enough, even though I had multiple other theaters to clean by myself. When I tried to talk to my colleagues, they treated me like shit because they thought I was a child, even though I'm a grown-ass man in college trying to build a resume. Sorry for the long-ass thread, but I said I stopped working for these people, just wanted to get my questions answered. Oh, hey, we got some. This is a lot. Man, this is more than I thought I would. I thought I was done. This is interesting. Some managers are vets and bullies. Think of the culture we had to build at our theater. It's true. And there were bullies and there were people. I just read a thing today where it's like, there's a difference where people expect, like their interpretation of respect is obedience. And that's not the case. It's so hard to find a chemistry that's not toxic. Whether everyone loves each other or everyone hates each other, it's so hard to find a chemistry that's not toxic. And just like people, because the fact is, and obviously Luke knows, the fact is that you are spending 8 hours a day with these people. And most of that time is downtime to get to know someone. Like if you can't stand the human being that you're standing next to, it's very hard to do the job. So you're better off figuring out how to be neutral or being buddies with everybody, because it's a pain in the ass when you can't stand somebody, because all you're doing is there were 3 people on a shift. Sometimes there was only 2 people on a shift. And it's like, if you can't stand your manager, like that's a hard day. Those were hard days. But also that's the deal. 1 in 4, both are likely answered by not having enough payroll hours. If you're recent, depending on your theater, they could have had only 61 hours for the employees for the week. However, there should have been at least a team lead helping train you, since that's part of our job description. Excuse me. Also, 4, definitely understaffed location or management not giving a fuck, or a good 50-50. Yep. 2, Regal has us count literally everything. That's what I was saying. Otherwise, it's lost money or something we could have kept track of because of those. Anything under $1's worth of material is so important, right? 3, sitting makes you look lazy. My location tries to be strict with it. It says struck with it, but the DGM is constantly sitting. Personally, as long as there's no customers and the place doesn't look a mess, I don't care. I have hip problems, so standing is impossible for me sometimes. So, 5, people are just shit. Sounds like an overall bad location. Your coworkers aren't paid enough to care. They may make 25 cents more than you, depending on how long they've been there, but there's little to no raises anymore, so why bother putting in effort? Honestly, Regal is a shit company, and even shittier since Cineworld bought it. I just got yelled at for trying to order toilet paper because we have maybe 5 rolls in the building, and the DM decided to make sure we were stocked on mop heads was more important during the break. But what do I know? That sounds... our manager was wonderful, but the owner was a pain in the ass. So what can you say? I know, I wouldn't even try. We were really lucky that we got I can only focus on a small group of people, you know. You just described working at a movie theater. There's nothing that you mentioned that is unique to Regal. The job didn't sound like it was for you. You didn't have enough time to train because it was a rush and they didn't have enough people on. Theaters have budgets and they get ripped a new asshole by corporate when they don't meet payroll goals. They didn't want to use you that way. They didn't want to use you that way. They just had no choice. The lines had to go down. Throwing out bags and cups is a big no-no. I mean, that's true. The bags are one thing, but the cups I counted all those cups. I counted all those fucking bags too, personally. A lot. Throwing out bags and cups is a big no-no. Those bags and cups are counted. They have to be spoiled. Again, this is a directive from corporate. You committed one of the cardinal sins. As for the late closes and early opens, that's what you sign up for when you work in a movie theater. That's not true. It's not for everyone, and certainly not for you. Find a job that's more your speed, but if minimum wage gigs like this, you'll encounter problems like this wherever you go. I agree. Also, to be fair, our boss was great with the schedule, but she had worked at places like this where they did not care. So it is apparently this is part of the deal. Right? Yeah, I think that's part of the deal, and we were very lucky to have somebody who cared enough to try not to do that kind of shit as best as she could. And that being said, when we were understaffed, we were understaffed. So that's dems to breaks. But she would never throw a new person like that's oof, I don't know, because that ends up gumming up all the works. Right? See, this guy knows. This fucking guy knows. But you know what? Best job I ever had. I mean, like, I can handle almost anything now. Your job right now, Luke, is easier because of your time at the theater. How else would you sling merch so fucking beautifully? Right? I know. Luke only cares about fancy cars, CD players. Yeah, no, someday I'm going to be able to visit Luke at SMOD. I'll be like, can I sit next to your bosses? And he'll go, you know what? Why don't you sit on the other side of me? And I'll let you lean over so you can meet some people. Let's see. Had a pretty much same experience in all those categories, both at Regal and AMC. It is just like that. I worked at a UEC theater, not quite as shit, but all the same concepts apply. Yeah, pretty much every theater pays their employees minimum wage. Usually how we train people at our theaters to give them the rundown and put them on the register. But we also are there to help. Definitely an understaffing issue for my theater. At least we lost a lot of our employees. Yeah. Well, you also lost a lot of employees. I don't know what the fuck that means. No one cared about keeping your employees. The cups and bags are actually make up the cost of the item, so you have to waste them. At my theater, we have sheet. You wouldn't have been screamed at. That's true. Our shifts are about 6-ish hours long, where we rarely get breaks. If we are busy, there's no way you're going to get to sit down. If we are slower, you can take 15 minutes at a reasonable time to eat, but that hasn't happened in a while, right? Like, if there's a couple of minutes to sit, you find a time to sit, but it's not a sitting job. Unless you're pregnant, we'll throw you on box and you can sit on a fucking stool. That's the only thing I've ever seen in my days. Yep, employees get to leave when finishing closing out concessions at UEC, which for us is usually 11 p.m. Managers, however, have to stay until the end of the movie, which depending on what movies are out can be really late. Oh, well, that's lucky. The manager has to stay alone. We wouldn't do that in my theater. And 5, because they don't care. They aren't good coworkers. It's something not unique to any one place. I was lucky enough to work at a place where people do care, but we still have those people who disappear in the bathroom for an hour or just watch movies while they are ushering. Also at our theater, everyone is in high school or college. It sounds like those coworkers sucked. As for ushering, yeah, you're going to be on a tight schedule and you do need to hit some basic level of cleanliness. It's just how it is. Remember, you're going to encounter issues at all of your jobs. You're just trading them in for a different set of issues. So if you have to find the one that you don't mind, personally, I found the theater to make up for its shortcomings with great staff and a relaxed atmosphere. Same. Yeah, no. Well, that was the sweet thing about all of us is that, like, you say that like it's like the employees wouldn't let a manager stay by themselves, like even if there was sometimes a manager let some people go, but usually like I had people waiting for Ubers, I would wait for them because it's 1 a.m. in Chicago and Rogers. About the coworkers, it's about respect. If OP went there in there complaining about everything every minute, don't know if it happened, but it's possible, then his coworkers won't respect him. In my working at a theater, if the new guy is just bitching about anything, it wouldn't go over well. Well said. Well said. Well said. Well, that's pretty much the show. Wow. Ended up talking a little longer than I thought. Not much in the ways of Hollywood, but it is fun to go back on the movie theater employee subreddit and see what the hell is going on, because it doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound too good. And anyone who's having a decent experience at an indie doesn't seem to be on the subreddit, which is fair. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, give me your money, fucking whatever. Follow me on Insta and go to jellyrollchicago.com. And definitely I'll be back tomorrow with more cash movie chat, but come back Thursday night on the 10th, I believe, for writer-director Chris Ray, and you'll see me slowly stress out more and more and more as we get to that day. It's going to be a lot of fun. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Luke, thanks for popping in and giving us your beautiful insight. You're welcome to come on the show anytime you want. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I will see you in the future.